Shannon, was yesterday more about Cam or about the Patriots defense?
There's plenty enough blame to go around, but I'm going to give the lion's share of the credit to the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton. Cam looked like a different Cam. If you look at him the first 3 weeks, yeah, they were 2-1 heading into this game. Go on the road, score 23 points against a 49ers team. They beat Buffalo, 9-6? 9-3.
Yep.
So really nothing there. And then they playing at home, and they get blown out by a New Orleans Saints team.
But a team you said was going to be historically bad on defense?
Yeah, I still believe.
Now they did that at Carolina, and then they shut out your team?
Well,
Go ahead.
But just think, Skip, just think Miami would really be in trouble if Jay Cutler didn't know this offense. But we'll talk about that later. I thought Mike Shula did a great job of calling this game. If you look, when you average like almost 7 yards a carry, Skip, it's going to be hard for you to get the ball back because they're going to run the ball down your throat. And Carolina only punted once. Carolina punted the football one time. I don't care who your quarterback is. I don't care how many games they've won, how many Super Bowls. You're not winning in this league if you can only get the team off the field once. Now, they did intercept him early in the first quarter, so that was twice that the defense actually stopped Carolina. Other than that, Carolina was going up and down the field. Benjamin was involved. Funches was involved. And considering they did this without Greg Olsen, who was probably their second best offensive weapon behind Cam Newton. I love Cam's body language. This looked like the Cam of old. 22 of 29. So they're not having to throw the ball 35, 40 times because they're always in an advantageous situation. They're able to run the football. So now that takes even more pressure off Cam. And then when Cam, it broke down, Cam was like, hell, I get the hell up out of here. He was gone sliding, getting those first downs. I love what I saw yesterday from Carolina. But here's the problem that I have, because I know what you're going to do. Tom, they tell me, that's why I don't know if this is true, Joe, but I heard Tom Brady was on the phone last night talking to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers said, hey, Tommy, now you know what it's like when your team give up 40-plus points and you got to score. And Skip Bayless said, well, if he's transcendentally great, he's supposed to be overcome this. And by this time, call waiting, another call comes in. Guess who it is? Peyton Manning. Hey, Tommy, how you like that? Now all those years, you remember I was in Indy and my defense couldn't get anybody off the field? And I was going the entire game and our defense didn't get a stop. Oh, so you mean to tell me a guy with 5 Super Bowl wins and we talking about his defense? Why would we talk about Tom Brady's defense? He's great. He should be able to overcome this. I keep telling you, you don't want to get that old guy that stands on the sideline with them old cut-off sleeve. You don't want to give him any credit. But Skip.
Oh, I don't, especially today. Go ahead.
Their defense is bad this year, and it's not like they can't get it fixed, but it's hard when you can't rush the passer and you're not getting the coverage that you need on the back end. I don't know what's happened to Malcolm Butler. He just didn't step off a cliff. But let me play armchair psychologist. It looks to me that he's a guy that said, hold on, I came here as an undrafted free agent. I made it the greatest defensive play in Super Bowl history. I've gone to Pro Bowls, and I see you bring a guy in from the outside and give him $40 million in guaranteed money while I'm over here on this $3.5, $4 million contract.
Maybe so.
It's hard.
Maybe.
And I know people say, well, hey, Malcolm Butler, be a professional. Malcolm Butler said, y'all be professional. And give me what y'all owe me. I don't know if I've ever seen the Patriots like this ever.
I haven't either.
Thursday night, you give up 42 points at home, and then you turn around and you come back 3 weeks later and give up another 33 in which you only force 1 punt. Is it fixable? They have no choice because there's nobody on the streets that can come in there and generate a pass rush for them in which they need. And then the back end, I heard Eugene Chung kind of in the doghouse. He's falling out. Gilmore, who they gave all that money to, there's been some miscommunication on his part. He hasn't been holding up his end of the deal. Malcolm Butler was demoted. Skip, they got a lot of issues going on, and I don't know how soon they're going to be able to correct it.
Back to the question.
Yes.
Back to Cam Newton. I was so happy for him yesterday because I believe his entire career was teetering on on credibility because it was starting to look like the MVP year was an aberration, a blip. And for him to have that game against that quarterback in that stadium was a huge turnaround game. And I hope for his sake they can build on this because they were coming off a home disaster at the hands of a division rival, 34-13. The Saints went in there and just marched all over them.
They did.
And for Cam to have this kind of game, it reminded me of 2013, a Monday night game. Do you remember this one?
Yes.
It was at Carolina against Tom Brady, and Cam came up big at the end through a touchdown pass. I think it was 25 yards to Ted Ginn, 59 seconds left to win that one. And it sort of brought him back after that quick pop start that he had with those two sensational first games. Then he struggled, and all of a sudden he was back on the map with a big Monday night home win, and it sort of catapulted him into back on track.
Correct.
So I'm hoping this will do the same for him. But when it comes to credibility, I can give none to the Patriot defense. You talked again about the New Orleans Saints defense being historically bad. Well, the all-time historically bad defense was the 2012 New Orleans Saints defense. This Patriot defense through 4 games has been much worse than the 2012 New Orleans defense. And this is what is so stunning to me. This is the same Patriots defense virtually. I'll go through it in a second, but it's almost the same group that led the NFL in scoring defense just last year that helped carry Tom Brady to a Super Bowl victory.
Correct.
Not sure how much it had to do with that, but it had something to do in the end. It finally figured out how to stop Atlanta. And through 4 games, this defense is giving up 457 yards a game, which is 242 more yards than the second worst team, the Indianapolis Colts. That is shockingly, all-time, stunningly bad. And here's the bottom line to what I saw yesterday. You and I thought coming into this season, and we both, by the way, picked New England to get to the Super Bowl, we thought this was going to be about Bill Belichick putting Tom Brady on trial at age 40. And at the first hint of showing some age, we thought that, he's going to cut bait pretty quickly and cold-bloodedly go to Jimmy Garoppolo, right?
Correct.
And all of a sudden, that script got flipped because now it's Bill Belichick on trial, right? Because how can you have a defense? Okay, they lost Ninkovich to retirement at age 33. And I've got a hunch on this one. I'll bet you Belichick's calling Ninkovich today saying, hey, can you think about this? Can you think twice about this? Could you come back and give us just 12 games? Could I just spot you in to rush the passer?
I don't know if he's been doing. I don't know.
I
don't know if he's been working out. Training.
But he's only 33 years of age. But I look at the defense. Shea McClellan is on IR, so they lost Ninkovich and McClellan, and then Logan Ryan. But they replaced Logan Ryan with the premier corner on the free agent market.
Correct.
Stephon Gilmore. So that's it. So it wasn't like a free agent exodus off this defense. Right. It's all there. All the same guys. Devin McCourty and Chung and Malcolm. You talked about maybe something's going on with him psychologically in this. Maybe he's lost heart.
It's tough, Skip. It's tough, man. When you've been working so hard for this team, and you says, I want to be rewarded, and they say they take care of their own.
But for a while, I thought he was gone to New Orleans in the Brandon Cooks deal, and then he wound up staying in New England. And I concluded that the Patriots just won the Super Bowl and won the offseason, right?
Yes.
And guess what's going on? Lost in the shadows of all this, sort of swept under the carpet is Tom Brady has been better this year than he was last year, which you could argue was his greatest year ever. Do you realize how great this man is at age 40? Do you realize he's now 10 touchdowns to 0 interceptions? He's completing 67% of his passes. He's second in QBR to, guess who we're going to talk about in a little bit, the new shocking surprise, Deshaun Watson is number 1 in QBR now in the NFL. Tom Brady is second to him. He's leading the NFL in yards passing, just pure passing yards. And he's tied with Aaron Rodgers for most TDs, but Aaron Rodgers already has 3 interceptions, so it's 10-0 versus 10-3. And by the way, I don't think Tom would talk to Aaron on the phone because Tom's better than Aaron. He's above that.
Yep.
He wouldn't take a phone call from Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
Aaron's not his league.
He should have won that game yesterday. Then.
Well, I think he did everything in his
No, he
power
didn't.
to
No, he
win the
didn't.
game.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He hit Amendola in the back of the end zone, and all of a sudden it's 30-all. And guess who gets the ball now?
Why was he
Carolina.
down? Why was he down? They
Well,
punted three times.
How could you ask for more than he did yesterday? He was extraordinary yesterday. He's been extraordinary all four games.
No.
Yes.
You don't do that with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers be extraordinary.
I gave Aaron an A- off the Thursday night game.
We're not talking about the Bears. We don't. The Bears are so.
Well, I was trying to give him a break. He needs a pat on the head every once in a while.
We've seen Peyton Manning have these type games year in and year out. And I've heard Skip Bayless say, if you're that guy, you've got to win those games. Why were the New England Patriots punting the football? That's what I want to know.
So
why
it's
were they
the
punting?
Carolina Panthers, who have a pretty good defense. You always tell me, Luke Kuechly, he's the best.
Oh, no, you told me.
Not better than Sean Lee, but that's what you say. Well, he was out there, and he led them in tackles. They're really good on defense. And Tom Brady puts up 30 at home. I think that should win the game.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.